exactly. Okay, because we're kind of like, I don't have a ton of time, so we'll just kind of play with a few things. We're gonna kind of play a little bit with the flinch response A-frame stuff, because it's funny enough, it's been in our system since the beginning of the salutation. And it's just like, nobody ever really teaches it like that. You know, when we step out like here, we have our A-frame, you know, and if we take that to our form, we have our A-frame. If we're working forward, we have our A-frame. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, let's do 5 swords because I'm a jerk. Actually, we don't even have to. You guys get together, do 5 swords, and then we'll just kind of modify it a little, okay? So everybody find a partner. Let's go through 5 swords, however you want. Hook style punch, not a traditional hook, but a roundhouse or a cross, right? We're stepping in. So traditionally we go here, but we like to shoot right to the throat right here. What we also like to do is instead of, well, watch my hand, right? Watch Tony's response with my hand. Tony sees that, right? So we like to tuck this underneath and we go here because see, Tony doesn't even see where my hand is now. So we tuck it underneath and that's our next shot, right? So 1, 2, okay? 1, 2. All right, and then right from there, you know, we all have this one. So with this shot, you have the liver right here. So a lot of people just go deep gut, right? You can shoot, as Mr. Lambert was really kind to him the other day. I'll go easy. You can hit to the thigh. You can hit to the liver. If you're hitting to this area, right, an up shot might do it, but a round shot will dig through, right? I caught his gi there. Or hopefully I won't catch his gi in real life. So right from here, we'll go 1, 2, and as we come through, we were just going through this with Gathering Clouds, right? Bam, we're coming through here, and we come across. Now we can come down, we can come out, we can come up. It's up to you guys, right? Really, this is all about point of origin, right? Where are you leaving your hands in all of this? So that's why if we A-frame this stuff, right? My hands, all an A-frame is, just to explain, sorry, just hold 1 second. All an A-frame is a triangle, right? It's a flinch response. So when we do the Batman, as Juan called it, that Dave loves, right from here, you're covering your head. You know, you can do that and drop, right? So we can do our 5 swords right from here. The whole point is we don't want him to see what we're about to do next, okay? So we can A-frame right from here, we drop underneath, we come through, and then we clear. And as we clear, we step. Some people like to cross. I like to keep it solid because I'm a little funny with my feet. So right from here, I cross, and then from here, I shoot straight. I don't come down because I have his carotid right here. I come through, right? Now, when we go into the extension, one of the things I hate to see with the extension, because you have so much power there, everybody likes to lead away, shoot the kick, and walk, right? So with the extension, sorry, move you here so everybody can see. It's a really simple thing. He's starting to go out. He's starting to fall. I catch him with an upward lifting palm heel, which reveals his throat. I hit his throat, and then I kick him to whatever available target it is, and I lead out. Oftentimes, as you hit, everybody does like a reverse bow, lead out, kick, right? When you guys are practicing this way, what I'm about to show you, what I like you to do, take it across the chest instead of the throat. Nice. It's a little, I mean, you know, so as you hit here and he starts to come down, this is your timing, right? You're catching, right? Sorry about that. You're catching, boom. As you lift, I want you to drop in. See that? Okay. So that's, and so this is across the, he can take a lot right there. So that's where it's semi-safe. Imagine that you're leaning into it, but don't lean into it. Mr. Sandler talked about push drag, step drag, right? We're gonna push drag into this. So as you push drag, strike, right? And then you have him clear. You've now made space for your kick. That kick can be a side kick, back kick, modified back kick, whatever you want to do, all right? What's the guy, Wonder Boy Thompson? Stephen Thompson, right, or Stephen Thompson? one of the things he was talking about his sidekick, he launches his sidekick. He doesn't pick it up. He launches it from the knee, and he doesn't do a side blade like we all do side blade. He hooks it down, and he leads with this part of his heel. And he explains why. Because after this happens, he's going to start to do that, right? And cover. And if I kick that elbow with the side of my blade of my foot, that hurts, you know. And he does it this way because he's not wearing shoes. If you're wearing shoes, it's kind of a different story. You can kick all day. And that's where that fits. So after this shot, boom, boom, the hands come up, position, bang. Targeted availability, wherever you want to hit. If you can't kick above your hip, kick the knee, exit out. All right? So let's go through this real quick. We're going to A-frame in, and we're shooting that first shot to the throat. We're going to tuck underneath and palm heel. All right? Now, this guy, we can go in any one direction, whatever we feel like. I'd like to go in a slight hook, right? Just like what we were doing. It's a thrusting, with a thrusting move with a slight circle to it. Elongating that circle, we clear and step, and we load up. But right as soon as we bring our hand up, we're dropping it. Bang. Right as soon as we drop this, underneath the chin. Right? So we go 1, 2, and then 3. And kick, and we're out. All right? Let's play with that. Go for it. Now this is stopping the person. This little hand here that I have up here is not really going to stop the force. It's going to keep, when he starts to fold, it's going to keep his hand from continuing his orbit, right? So I'm really jarring him there. As I jar here, I don't want to go 1, 2, right? Because I'm leading right in. Now, what's weird about this, or what can be difficult, because we're so used to this, you know, trading our hands this way, is tucking under. So you can leave your hand here for a second as you go underneath. You can pull, all right? Or you can just leave it and hit. Now, as I shoot this shot, my hand comes kind of close to my body because I'm rebounding off of my body, right? As I rebound here, but I'm also rebounding here. That's how I'm getting that motion, right? Where do we see that? Where do we have that? We just talked about gathering clouds. We also have leaping crane, thundering hammers, that kind of thing, right? So we're generating this power here to there, right? Now we can go here, 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 wherever you want to go. It's going to have a different effect. It's going to put him in different places, right? So right from here, the next point is where I clear. So when I'm clearing here, I don't pick my hands up off of him and clear. Okay? I want to contour him constantly. I want my hands always making contact. One is always there, right? So as I clear, this hand is scraping across his body, okay? And where my hand is going here is opening up that neck for the shot, all right? And as soon as I open that neck up, that's my shot, okay? So as I throw this here, this hand goes here, it's going to tuck right under again. And this part here drops as this guy goes up, right? If I go here and then go, right, that I start to have really big gaps in my motion, gaps in my time, giving him a chance to recede, right? So right from here, I'm coming right up under. See, I can even pull him into my strike, right? I can pull him into that. From that frictional pull, right? So I come right through. I'm frictional pull right here. My hand, as it shoots, this little like pinky, right? I like to hook around things. It's probably not necessarily best idea, but I get just a little bit of friction out of that. If I don't, my hand just slides out. So from that little pinky pull right there, I don't do a full commitment because then we're grappling, and I don't necessarily want to grapple just yet. So right from here, I pull, boom, and then I'm launching right in, right? Now here, I'm keeping my elbow high for effect right now, but what you want to do is drop your elbow, all right, for this shot. Now it's a little weird because I'm shooting through to the throat. Why would I drop my elbow? And what it does is it creates kind of a mass effect of force because I'm anchoring my elbow. That's how we get a lot of our powers. We're anchoring. So my shot will go across. I'm not going to do it. My shot will go across as I come down. So I'm bang. All right. If I hit his clavicle, that's great. You know, I can't use those arms again. All right. Now, with that shot, when we're talking about the A-frame, back to the A-frame now. We're talking about the A-frame. We have two other targets we can utilize here. We can utilize the throat, which is really effective. We can utilize the clavicle, which is really effective. All right. Now, if we're going to, like WWBD, right? What would Batman do, right? So right from here, we're in. I learned this from Dave a long time ago. This is a really nasty move, all right? You'll see like guys in Thai kickboxing, they'll take a fighter out really quick. Comes in with a hook, bang, right? So right from here, if we're keeping everything up, you know, it gets tighter. Right? So our range changes. When we start to utilize our elbows and we do a closer frame, our range changes. We start to get into contact manipulation. All right, right now, with where we are pardon me, how we're framing this is contact penetration, right? So I'm here, boom, I can move, but the minute we start grabbing and getting tighter, contact manipulation, okay? Let's do that for like one more minute and then we'll move on, okay? So take those little tidbits, use them. Let's see what happens. I think everybody knows 5 swords, and we're kind of beating that to death. Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit you in the face yet. So with this, we're kind of playing with some of the concepts that were introduced yesterday and today, and so I'm trying to make everything glue together for you guys, right? Because it's all the information is very relevant, right? So now let's take a look at reversing mace and repeating mace, right? So repeating mace, what's the difference? Anybody? Reversing mace, repeating mace, attack, there's one. Yep. Yep. So you got reversing and repeating, right? Who here likes reversing mace? Anybody? Guys, no? No, you guys aren't into it? Who here likes repeating mace? Yeah, okay. All right. So you like that. So, all right. All right, so who here likes repeating mace? Huh? Okay. Repeating mace. All right. So if we look at it with the same attack, right? With that left push or left punch. Let's do a left punch, right? So we have reversing mace, right? So one of the things that we do now to kind of speed up our timing, because right now we have 1, 2, right? And that's kind of how we learned it. So now what we're looking at is as we step off, we're striking and we're kicking. Now I'm adjusting my feet because I'm doing it slowly, but we're striking and we're synchronizing these two one at a time. They're not happening at the same time. They're happening just incrementally different. So one's hitting right before the other, right? Because if we do it at the same time, our body gets kind of out of coordination, right? When he goes to hit me here, I'm shooting this and I'm striking, right? And that's going to lead us into our extension, okay? But what I'd like you guys to look at is there's different angles of striking and there's different angles of how we're returning that shot, right? So we can shoot straight, we can drop, and that will create a different reaction, right? So we can hit high and we can hit low. We can also palm heel the hand out and drop down, right? So but some of these are exaggerated motions. So what we need is time. We need to create space and pick up our time. So here, go ahead, punch, boom, bang. That's where we're not going to be super devastating, but we're going to start to eat this person up because we're hitting them all at once with 2 shots, 3 shots rather, right? With this, as we step and hit here, drop it down at an angle. Don't bring it all the way back and hit. If you bring it all the way back and hit, he gets to change his mind about what he's doing and possibly turn in, right? This is here to help protect us, but it's not invincible, right? Because we're constantly moving. I'm going to turn you this way.
Okay.
All right, so as he punches, I'm utilizing my timing, boom. All right? Now differently, in a similar reaction with repeating mace, we can use the same punch instead of a push. Because now, instead of our hands going this way, they're repeating the motion on a horizontal path, right? Now, one of the things I really had trouble with when I started learning this technique was this shot, was that kidney shot. Now, the kidney shot is powerful, right? But when you're first learning it, it's really difficult to like feel what that is, right? So you're gonna have to forgive me for this, but I'm gonna, for demonstrative purposes, I'm gonna use his butt for this one, right? And I'm gonna use an open hand for this, right? So as he punches right from here, I'm hitting.
Don't tease.
So you're whipping that shot. So instead, I didn't want to whip it because if I use that shot on his back, that's gonna be really fucking nasty, right? So so right from here, we're gonna return that right here, but in a different path. So we're repeating that shot, right, on the same, almost the same target, right? And this whips, whereas this returns. So we're whipping this, and that's where we get that shot, all right?
You know, my wife's gonna ask why there's a handprint on my ass, just so you know.
You can tell her with confidence. All right, so let's go back to reversing mace.
Okay.
So reversing mace, we're gonna shoot, we can break, all right, if we have the time. If we don't have the time, we're just gonna palm heel. As we palm heel, go up and then drop. Okay, so let's do that slowly. So he comes through here. I'm just gonna drop this here as I come down. As I drop my fist, I go 1, 2. Where I'm hitting is on the top of the calf, going downward, following the knee, or following the back of the leg, right? I can hit up, and honestly, when you guys first do this, you're probably gonna hit up. Because we're so used to going 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we're going 1, 2. I'm putting our foot down, all right?
Cool.
Let's try that. We'll do it in shadow real quick. Reversing mace first, ready? So right from here, we're stepping off line. Our hands are coming up. We're using our palm to guide and contour, right? So just like with 5 swords, just like everything we've been doing, we want to contour the body constantly. That's the most important thing. Contour down the arm, anchor your elbow, and as you anchor your elbow, get that shot. Going hammer fist, downward looping roundhouse kick.
Is a hammer fist like this or?
Hammer fist like this. You're gonna get deeper penetration with a hammer fist because it's smaller than if you go back knuckle, right? Think about it, with a back knuckle, I have a lot of mass here. But with a hammer fist, you get slightly deeper penetration, all right? Like you're stabbing something. I don't know if you guys have ever stabbed anything, but it's the same motion. If you're looking for that, picture you have a knife and you're trying to put that knife in the person. All right? And if you want some great questions, right? Actually, let's go this side. Great questions. How do we do this? Right? And that's a really good question because sometimes I'm able to do a thing, but I have trouble explaining what that thing is, right? So in first learning this technique, we have 1, 2, right? And we come up, pow, okay? The reason why we're able to generate power here is because we are leaning into this and putting our weight on the front foot. What you saw Mr. Vigoroux do with attacking mace, all right? From here, he came this way, and then as he kicks, he lowers just slightly. His foot comes up, and he kicks as he moves, right? He doesn't move forward until his foot lands and he readjusts his weight. So what we're doing essentially is, as we're stepping off line, and I'm dropping my weight, and I'm striking at the same time. So I'm keeping in a neutral bow, 50-50 weight dispersal. At the last minute, I'm striking 1 and then 2. I'm not trying to hammer into this first and then get into this guy, because it's a different type of destruction. what I'm doing is I'm repositioning, bang, right? So I can go here, okay? It starts to set me up for the extension, which, we can do it another time. All righty? Does that answer any questions? So we're syncing as we do it. We should be settling, right? As we settle with this motion, we can move in with it, but what I want to do is step off line, stay in a neutral bow, and watch how my feet start to change, and I strike down.
Cat. Right? So it's cat. So it's not 12 pivot. Cat.
What's that? Cat?
So obviously, if you just move it up here, that makes more sense. You try like here. Press it down.
Right, yeah. But I'm stepping off line, but it's not a genuine cat, because you're still in a 50-50. So what it actually is for you and you, no, you guys have this. It's Deceptive Panther. Boom, see that? You went like this, right? So now throw that arm out as you do that shot for Deceptive Panther. Bang. All right, everybody, let's do Deceptive Panther. So Deceptive Panther is for right kick to my face or my body. Go ahead. Bam, right? It's a great kick. What I'm doing is I'm stepping offline, or I'm shuffling rather, offline, I'm going up the circle. As I do that, I'm kicking out her supporting leg, right? I'm doing that with a side kick. Now, with this particular technique, go ahead. Bang. I'm taking out this leg, and then I take it out here, and then all the other good stuff comes, right? How does this relate to reversing mace? So with reversing mace, our footwork is similar. As she comes this way, I am doing the same, almost the same style of a shuffle kick, but now instead of a side kick, I'm turning that into a roundhouse. Boom, right? As I roundhouse, I'm nailing her with that hammer fist to her ribs, or her floating ribs, right? Boom. Okay? Does that make sense? So it's a related motion. We don't have to go over Deceptive Panther right now, but it's almost like a little bit of a hop, right? So then a kick, and then a kick hit. So we're replacing that foot. So when we learned a roundhouse, right, what do? Our hands are working opposite our feet, right? Our feet go up, our hands go down to counterbalance. We learned that in attacking mace, right? Where are my hands? Right? So my hands go here, bang, bam, right? So if my hands are counterbalancing when I'm kicking, right, why can't they hit when I kick? So if they can hit when I kick, why can't they hit and I can change the direction, but just by turning my hip, right? So I go here, now think of it, we have attacking mace, I grab, and my hands go this way, right? As I kick, right? Now, I'm here with that same shot, and my hands are going this way. They're counterbalancing with that shot. All right? Now, with that, if we're lucky enough, as you come here, if my hand ends up here, I have a potential hyperextension as I strike. She's gonna go to save herself, bang. All right? And then we go through all the manipulation and stuff that we did earlier today. All right? Okay, so reversing mace. Let's do that for 5 more minutes. Go for it. Now let's look at repeating mace, our less favorite, right? Or I don't know, maybe categorically it's the same. I'm not sure. So with repeating mace, it's for a push. We're gonna use a punch. So with one of the reasons why reversing mace is effective is our hands are already up, right? We're not going from 0. And as we kind of did with like the A-frame work with 5 swords, you know, we're already recognizing a problem, so our hands are in the same zone. Or we're starting to, and the person's already launched. They didn't, you know, like in karate, you're supposed to say go. Nobody said go. Now you're getting punched in the face, right? Or close. So with repeating mace, you know, our hand's up here, right? And our other hand is whipping that shot. Now, I am working with the Harms family in England, didn't really realize like what they showed me, which is really a devastating part of some of the ways that they do their techniques. Steve Harms' dad, when I worked with him, Ben Harms, the way he would do his Kempo techniques, there was like kind of a weird whip to everything. Everything he did, he would whip things out of the way. And I never worked with anybody who actually utilized finger whips the way they kind of did. You know, they would block, can I borrow you for a second? But the way they would block hard, but things would get whipped out of the way, and they'd go right in. You know, if they were doing a deflecting hammer, actually, kick me for deflecting hammer real quick, sorry. Right kick, yeah, right kick. All right, good. So right from here, they drop the hand this way, and they whip down. Dave does that too sometimes. I don't know if you guys have ever been whipped by Dave Pantano, but yes. Yeah, oh yeah. You load up and right? So with this, both motions are, one is kind of it's a hammering motion, obviously, with the return, which is very much like returning mace, or yeah. So with repeating mace, we're whipping that from a punch, from a push. We're coming through, and we're hitting the kidney, right? But what I want you to think of is exactly what we came back with 5 swords, right? For the ending of our 5 swords, we came through, we rebounded off, and we hit. So now instead of loading up and bang, going there, we're whipping through, right? And as we whip through, we're hitting the back of the kidney with an open hand, with a chop, with a hammer, whatever you want. What I find is with an open hand, okay, you have less resistance to your body. With a closed fist, if I'm trying to hit here, you'll have a lot of damage. But it starts to stop your motion, and it's tougher to pull through and come back, right? That's why when we're doing our techniques, we do, say like we'll call it the older way of gathering clouds, everybody would keep their hands open. Why would they keep their hands open? Because the knuckle would get caught on the fucking gi and it'd be a pain in the ass, and you're hoping that somebody you meet on the street doesn't have a gi, because that might be the end of this middle knuckle, right? So you might change it to a punch, but between that and leaping crane, you want to get faster, keep your hands open. Why are we keeping our hands open? Because we stay loose, right? We stay relaxed, yeah, until the actual maximum impact. So now I'm not saying to change all your techniques and do everything open-handed, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is to recognize where those open-handed techniques, sorry, here, move you this way, where those open-handed techniques can really help you, I would say prevail, I don't know. Help to dominate the person, right? Because you can, with this, you can come through and go back. You can come through and go forward. Right there, it looks the same, but my body's doing something different every time, right? And then we still have that shot, right? So now we have reversing mace, boom. So now we have repeating mace, and we're whipping through, and as we come through, right, we're coming all the way through. Now I'm using my fingertips, and it probably doesn't feel great, but so I'm trying to keep it as light as possible. Right? And I used Mark as an example because it's the only way you can do a full shot without really damaging somebody here. You can really, like with the kidneys exposed, you can really fuck somebody up with an open palm, right? You can shoot. There's a crazy video of Paul Mills hitting somebody with that shot. Bang, guy goes, ah, he falls right to the ground. So with this, repeating mace, 1, 2, and as we do that second shot, instead of landing and then kicking, we're going to do the same thing we did in reversing mace. Boom, bang, bang, bang. Last little tidbit about repeating mace, okay? If you miss this, right, say Amanda punches or pushes, and I don't get this here to get this shot, I get it here. What do we have, Amanda? That's an arm bar, right? We have an incidental break, hyperextension to our shot. So we still have it, all right? And then we can go back through and boop, all that good stuff, all right? Okay, so that's One to grow on, food for thought. There's a quote from a movie where he said, I wish we had more time. I wish we had more time. All right, thank you very much for coming, you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. You guys are the best. Thank you for pushing through. This is 4 hours of seminars. You guys crushed it. Thank you. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.